We've had a couple of mentions of these characters. The Anunnaki. Anyone's ever heard of them? They're detailed in the Sumerian stone tablet text, come across in cuneiform. In fact, if you sort of get into it, it appears that the entire, well, let's say a big chunks of the Old Testament are in fact rewrites of this rather vastly different story. It's now, instead of having these Anunnaki people in it, there's got God in it.
Yeah.
It's just replaced by a god instead of these space lizards! Anyway, it seems that the Anunnaki is a bit of a handful, but like us being creatures that were made out of clay by them, we didn't have a lot of choice. But there was, understand this story, the general family were pretty hard to live with, overlords, but there was one person. He wasn't a prince, he was just an engineer. His lord was Enki, his name was Enki, Lord Enki. His brother Enlil when they made all the people to mine the gold that they need so much from the earth, he was pissed off because they partied and they made too much noise, so he had to have them destroyed for that reason. Another reason, it just wasn't very fair on the slaves that he made. Lord Enki was much more beneficent-minded. He never got them out of the situation, but he gave them the means to get out of the situation, such as giving the dimensions of the ark. He's probably, you know, he gets mingled in with other characters like Enoch. Just don't say anything. Okay. But here's the end of the piece. So you know Lord Enki, he was the more beneficent of the Anunnaki. Lord Enki gave us his own prime DNA. Or did it come another way? With his sister, Ninki, fashioned us from clay, human homunculi, and kept his relatives in sway. But with the rest of his Anunnaki family in control, most of us behaved like drone trolls. Sauron's towers help enslave us, subjects of the microwave. Mordor mined technologies from death game toys to chip ID. Clutter up our inner frequencies till ill at ease we be, wrapped up in an electromagnetic blanket, tucked in by overlords of overt consumerism, who have numbed up our psychic life, dumbed us, compartmentalized, till we sleep when we awake, never quite to correlate, stuck in soap sagas, movie scripts, repeating like a record glitch. Scornful slander, boss and work, and never breaking from that order that stultifies the very gift of life, that gift of choice, that glimpse with light to see something of a mystery, portentous other histories that I am leaving for you here, that I am pouring in your ear, that it might trickle into your brain, that its sweet waters might bring us some hope down here again. For in the turn of time's timeless clock's bardic tale, like a mountain rocks, come to where generations flocked, come to hear the ancestral song. Yes, it's been going on quite some long, but now a time is turning in the grail, and because it rhymes, it bodes you well. Mark this tide, its fall and rise. Then we won't be quite so surprised. In the landscape of mind, quake and wake, it's never too late to recapitulate. It has been a long wait. But this story predates most lies of all states, where fears that have been placed upon the inside of thought all bundle up and sprung-loaded, paranoid and fraught, need extrication from the legal mind traps within which we have become caught. Let us be freed from that which we were taught. So, to all false fear-flingers I sing this rousing chorus of inspiral expansion. Yes, you who have rearranged the nameplates upon all the doors of God's mansions, cower now behind your veils that have so long obscured us for something called truth from which we were obscured. Exposed are the myths which were posited as real, just as reality mythologized was turned upon its heels. Can I relate how great is importance of this humming head's worth of stories fully told? It's all in an imagination of word and an interpretation of word, whichever way your inclination might be. For do not most politicians chain with words, whilst true poets use the same tools to free. You have taken time to assimilate. Now, here's the mind food upon a plate. No one can control your fate.
Hey.